Hey guys, this is Sharad with REsimpli. Super excited to have a long-time REsimpli user, John Blackburn, on this call to share his experience using REsimpli with us. John, welcome to the call, man. How are you?
Thanks, man. Doing great. Thanks
Yeah,
for having me on, man.
absolutely, man. Our pleasure. Hey, let's just get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? What kind of investing do you do? And how long have you been investing for?
So I live in Southern California, San Diego specifically. I don't do any investing near me. I'm pretty much invest 3,000 miles away in the state of Connecticut. We do buy and holds, we do fix and flips, we do wholesale deals, novations, kind of really any exit strategy, you name it. That's what we deploy inside of our business. And I've been in the real estate investing game for about 17 years. I'm surprised I still have all my hair, but
Hmm.
we're still here doing our thing.
Yeah. And how come Connecticut?
Yeah. I mean, a few things. One, I'm originally from the East Coast, so that's my tie back to the Connecticut market. And also, Connecticut is a really, really strong real estate market. Like, we have New York City and everyone who wants to live in Connecticut and then, go into the city. It's a really good market overall. And number two, pricing is really, keeps our risk as low as possible, right? So, we focus on our average after repair value is usually somewhere between about 275 to $400,000. So, lower pricing homes keeps our risk down as well.
Cool. And do you mind sharing how many deals are you doing per month or per year? Totally cool if you don't feel comfortable.
Oh no, happily would share. I mean, right now I think we have about 17 or 18 deals in the pipeline that we're working on in some stage of fix and flip, wholesale purchasing for fix and flip. If you kind of break that down into a monthly number, it really depends on how active we are flipping, but usually anywhere between about 6 to 10 deals.
Okay, great. And how long have you been using REsimpli for?
Oh man, you would probably give me a better answer than this. It's been since the early days. I think it was
Yeah,
either like Dean Rogers or Tony Javier introduced me to you and your
I
guys'
think Tony
software. I
Javier
was like
did. Yeah.
one of the first owner or one of the first users of it, and so I mean, what 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen a bunch of iterations of REsimpli. Yeah. How did you manage your real estate business before coming to REsimpli?
Manage is a very strong word, I would say. Probably one I wouldn't use to describe it, but like most investors starting out or haven't quite taken the time to develop a platform, it's just all Google Sheets for the most part is everything that we were using. And if I'm being honest, I'm a huge technology buff. I love technology. I think it solves pretty much every problem in our life. But when it comes to like a system like a CRM and obviously RE Simply so much more than a CRM, but it's always been very difficult for me to like get on board with that because I feel like there's so many limitations or it doesn't do exactly what I want to do. And I feel like I always could customize like a Google Sheet a little bit better. But, you know, I think the biggest thing that sold me, especially after Dean and Tony told me about it, was just it's very simple to use, but it also has enough features that I feel like it's customizable without kind of going overboard, right? I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of other real estate investing platforms out there that are like really customizable, but with that customization comes this overwhelm, right? Like I can do anything, which is great, but that overwhelms me. I don't want to do everything, right? Like I'd like to have some bumpers on either side. So that was kind of the big thing for me.
Oh, awesome, man. Before you came to REsimpli, were there any specific challenges or pain points you were looking to solve?
I think the hardest for me was just KPI tracking, right? Great, we're doing deals, we're making money, but what does that really look like, right? What's our, lead to contract? What's our process call to contract? What's our average profitability per wholesale? What's our timeline of money cycling? Like, all of these things that, we now track and track very successfully. It was just we were what we call a bank account entrepreneur, right? At the end of the
Yeah,
month, if there's money in the bank account or more than
that's
there was
good.
last month, we were successful.
Yeah.
And now we have data, obviously, that backs that up.
Cool. Awesome, man. What specific features or software tools have REsimpli replaced or enhanced within your investing business?
I mean, we don't use really anything else. We have a team external Google Sheet that we still use like just on a day-to-day basis with our like morning huddles, but it's super simple. Like it's nothing major. Other than that, for all lead capture, all lead follow up, every phone call, whether it's dispositions, TC, acquisition, everything's done through REsimpli. There's nothing outside of it.
All right. What would you say your favorite features of REsimpli are?
I love the follow-up ability in REsimpli, like the sequences and the reminders and the tasks on a daily basis, right? In this game, fortunes in the follow-up, right? The likelihood of bringing a deal in right out of the gate versus in the next 3, 4, 5 months, the fortunes, the follow-ups where all the fortunes made long-term in the game. So the automation of that is fantastic. You guys, I feel like, come up with a new iteration of something, every month. So it's cool to see it grow and see it adjust and change. And obviously you're listening to the feedback that, myself and my operations manager, Sarah, and everyone else is giving inside of the group. Customer service is great. So follow-up is probably great. And then for me as well, because I run all of our morning huddles with our acquisitions and dispositions team, how everything's set up inside of, like, I always like to call it Trello-like dashboard, right? Where we can just move these deals to different dispositions, right? That makes our huddles really easy. It makes it very easy for everyone to visually see where properties are, hold them accountable to getting certain things completed. So those would be my favorite things.
Cool. Since you started using REsimpli, would you say REsimpli has helped you close more deals?
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, just the sheer organization, and as I was mentioning, like the automated follow-up versus, just scrolling through or filtering on a Google Sheet of who do I need to follow up today,
Yeah.
right? I have someone telling me, or the computer telling me, hey, you need to call this person, or this person
Right.
replied to this text message. You should probably reach out to them. So yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Do you remember how many deals were you doing before you were using REsimpli versus you're doing 6 to 10 now?
Probably like 2.
Okay. Cool. Awesome, man. Is there anything in particular about REsimpli that sets it apart from other real estate software out there?
I think there's probably 2 or 3 things I would say. I mean, one, I think it's pretty fairly priced in, based on what all that you get, the ability to, use it as a call center, to use it as a CRM, to use it as follow-up, to use it as, project management, right? Based on all of those features, I think it's very reasonably priced. Number 2 is, I feel like it's this hybrid, right? Between something that is extremely customizable, like a Podio, right? Versus something that's very, like, you can't change it at all. And I don't have a good example, but it's like this middle ground, right? So for those investors that are looking to, have some leeway, but not like getting lost in the minutia of, just customizing every little bit and piece, right? And you have this easy setup, easy jump in and use it, and an easy kind of match to your business. So I really like that, right? That just makes life super easy. So I would say those are kind of the 2 biggest things that set
Cool.
it apart.
So, all right, man. Final question. What would you say to someone who's listening to this and is on the fence about using REsimpli in their business?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're anything like me, right, change is scary. You don't like it when you have to learn a new system or process because you think it takes time away from, your money making activities. Bringing REsimpli into your business, I 100% feel and truly believe is a money making activity. So, you putting that into your business, as I just said, was like, I was doing, 2 deals a month, and now we're 6 to 10, right? So, if you can adjust to you wanting to do that many more deals a month, you got to get more organized. And, the fortune is in the follow up, as I mentioned. So, you're just going to have the ability to follow up more, reduce your overall cost per lead, reduce how many leads you need to bring in to get to a contract. And yes, it's going to seem overwhelming, but it is 100% worth the adoption and integration into your system for sure.
Thank you, John. If someone who's listening to this wants to connect with you, learn more about kind of what you're doing, what's the best
Yeah.
way for them to do that?
The best way is just shoot me an email. The best email is John, JOHN, at rentalprop, PROP, pro, PRO. So John at rentalproppro.com.
Cool. We'll put that link in the show notes. Cool. Thank you so much, John,
Thank-
for coming on the call, man. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Thanks.